You terrible son! What have you got to say now? Paul shouted at Spring, his face dark. Yo, you! Weren't you dead? Why are you still alive? Spring was so frightened he stumbled backward with terror on his face. Take my you! Now could I call all of you? You vile! Fell yelled at. Faked your death? How could that be? I checked that you were dead. Spring shook his head, unable to accept what he heard. He had waited for so long. He was just one step away from taking over Paul's position, but it had all come to waste now. It was a big blow to his plans. HMPH, I am a grandmother, and I have mastered the invisible breath technique. I'd have wasted decades mastering the technique if I can't even fool you, Paul stated impassively. Why? Why won't you just die, old man? Spring seemed to lose it because his chance of taking Paul's position was now destroyed. It was like he had lost his sanity. He even screamed continuously to vent his aggravation and resentment. I put so much effort into making the perfect plan to kill you. I worked so hard to get everything right. But you still didn't die? Why didn't you die? You've had decades worth of glory, old man. It should have been enough. Why didn't you willingly give up your position? Why couldn't you have put me in charge? I do not wish to be controlled by you for life. I do not want to live in your shadows constantly. You should die. You should have died much earlier on. I'd never get a taste of success if you don't die. Spring's legs went weak, and he sat on the ground after letting out all his pent-up thoughts. His face was twisted with many negative emotions: anger, hatred, jealousy, craze, and spite. He could not understand why things turned out the way they did. He had come up with a perfect plan. There should have been no mistake. All he had to do was kill Paul, and he could take over his position. He would then be in control and have ultimate authority. Yet, things did not go according to his plan. All his carefully planned schemes burst like bubbles. He had only two possible outcomes when he decided to aim for his father's position. He could reach his goal and be respected by all, or he would fail and fall into disgrace. Unfortunately, he failed. Paul hadn't died, and all his plans and schemes were wasted. But he refused to accept the outcome. Just one step. One more step was all it took for him to get a taste of success. Why? I never thought that Spring would be the one behind all this. How unexpected. He pretends to be so nice and friendly all the time, but he's such an evil person. We really can't judge a book by its covers. Had Sir Paul not feigned his death, this monster would have taken over his position. The crowd whispered among themselves, seeing how Spring was on the verge of madness. The crowd was more angry at him than shocked. To think that they had supported him and gave him their complete trust. None of them had expected that he was a wolf in sheep's skin.